The old life is patient. That's the part nobody warned me about. It doesn't rush you, it doesn't pressure, it just stays available. Same number, same door, same welcome mat. Knows the exact moment to call when you're tired enough to answer. And I had to learn, picking up is the whole risk. You don't owe the old life a return call. Old life called me on a Tuesday when the new one felt slow. This guy's the voice that's familiar. Just the offer up is just one conversation, just one drink, just one drive past the block. Just one, like the just was a discount, like the one was a small word, but I've been there before. I know how just one operates. It's a foot in the door, it's a thread back into the sweater. It's the one stitch that unravels what took years to weave together. I know the smell of the old life from a distance now. The specific cologne of the version of me I left in the ground. And I'm not pretending it doesn't still pull. The pull is real, the pull doesn't disappear because I got saved. The pull just stops being the deciding vote. That's the maturity, not no temptation. The temptation that doesn't get the drive.
Don't make me go back.
I built this too slow to lose it on a Tuesday.
Don't make me go back.
The old life learned my number, didn't get my address. The phone's still ringing, but I'm not picking up. Pillow of salt, last wife, that's what looking back costs.
Don't make me go back.
I know exactly what's there. I know exactly why I left. Forward is the only direction with a future. The Israelites in the wilderness kept romanticizing Egypt. Forgot the chains, remember the leeks and the garlic. Told Moses they'd rather be slaves than free with manna. Because freedom in the wilderness felt harder than bondage and familiar. That's how the old life recruits it at. It's the highlight reel. Shows you the moments you laughed and skips the ones you cried. Shows you the brotherhood and skips the betrayal. Shows you the money and skips the cost in your soul. I keep the full footage in front of me on purpose. Don't let the highlight reel run unedited. When the old life calls, I run the long version. The funeral I attended, the visiting room I sat in, the version of me my mother prayed for through tears. That's the receipt I keep in my wallet for exactly when the old life remembers my number. Last wife looked back. Just looked, didn't return, didn't engage. Just glanced, and it cost her her life. Looking is not neutral. The eyes feed the heart feeds the choice. What you keep looking at is where you eventually move.
Don't make me go back.
I built this too slow to lose it on a Tuesday.
Don't make me go back.
The old life learned my number, didn't get my address. The phone's still ringing, but I'm not picking up. Pillow of salt, last wife, that's what looking back costs.
Don't make me go back.
I know exactly what's there. I know exactly why I left. Forward is the only direction with a future. The phone rings, I let it ring. That's the discipline. Not arguing with the call, not justifying the silence. Just letting it ring. Forward is where God is. That's the only direction worth going. This is a funeral for a man. A specific man. Lived a specific way for a specific number of years. Died on a specific day at a specific altar. Buried by hands that knew exactly what they were burying. And I am not the eulogist who lies. I'm not going to pretty him up, but I'm also not going to dig him back up. Today is the funeral, and the funeral is final. He had a name and a reputation that worked in certain rooms. He had a code of crew, a way of moving that got things done. He survived what should've killed him a few times. With the personality out of refusing to be vulnerable. And I don't speak ill of the dead, he kept me alive long enough for the next version to even have a chance to exist. He served his purpose in a season that needed him, but the season ended and he wouldn't end with it. That's why God had to do what I couldn't do myself. You can't fire yourself from yourself, that's just denial. You need someone with higher authority to terminate the position. The cross is where the old man died. Romans 6, buried with him in baptism. Verse 4, that's not metaphor, that's a legal action. The old self doesn't get visitation rights, doesn't get reinstated when nostalgia hits, doesn't get to come back when the new life feels hard. The old self is dead. funeral was final. And funerals don't have do-overs.
Funeral for who I used to be.
Services held at the altar.
Funeral for who I used to be.
Burial site is the cross. You can't resurrect the man got buried. Don't try to dig him up because you missed the way he handled things. Don't put flowers on a grave that's supposed to stay closed.
Funeral for who I used to be.
He served his time, did what he could do, but the new man God's building doesn't need him anymore, and neither do I. The hard part isn't the funeral, it's the urge to visit. The cemetery has gravitational pull when the new life feels uncertain, when the new self doesn't know what to do, and the old self had a playbook for this exact moment. There's a temptation to consult the dead like they have wisdom, but the dead don't have wisdom. They have memory, and memory dressed up as wisdom is a counterfeit that gets you exactly nowhere. No, I keep the gravesite in my peripheral vision. Don't pretend it doesn't exist, that's denial, but I don't visit either, that's discipline. The dead I buried at the cross, stay buried at the cross. And the new man God's making is fragile in some places, doesn't need to be measured against the dead man's competencies. Just needs the time to fully arrive. Saul became Paul on the road to Damascus. Same body, different name. The man who breathed threats against the church died on that road. Got her blind, that's the symbol. Couldn't navigate by the old eyes.
Had to learn to see again.
Different, and he never went back to being Saul.
He buried Saul
and kept moving. The new name was the new identity, and the old name
didn't get to follow him. Funeral for who I used to be.
Services held at the altar.
Funeral for who I used to be.
Burial site is the cross. You can't resurrect a man got buried. Don't try to dig him up because you missed the way he handled things.
Don't put flowers on a grave that's supposed to stay closed. Funeral for who I used to be.
He served his time, did what he could do, but the new man God's building doesn't need him anymore, and neither do I. Service is over, casket closed. The man we buried isn't coming back, and I'm not gonna dig him up. Not for nostalgia, not for emergency, not for any reason. He's dead, and I'm free. That's the obituary. I did everything right. Prayed 3 times a day, same window, same posture. Didn't change my routine for the politics. Didn't dim the testimony for the room. And they still threw me in. That's the part the sermons don't always cover. Sometimes faithfulness doesn't prevent the den. Sometimes faithfulness is what gets you in it. And I had to learn what God does when the den becomes the address. Daniel didn't sin into the lion's den, he prayed into it. That's a different theological problem than most preachers preach. Most teaching tells you the trouble is consequence of the wrong move, but Daniel got thrown in for doing the exact right thing, because the system around him couldn't tolerate his integrity. And the more excellent his spirit got, the more enemies he made. That's a hard pattern to sit with, but it's in the text. Sometimes the favor on you is exactly what makes them target you. I've been thrown into things I didn't earn, lost positions because I refused to bend the truth, got pushed out of rooms because I wouldn't co-sign the dysfunction. And I'd be lying if I said it didn't shake my theology for a minute, because I thought obedience was an immunity card. Turns out obedience is the door, and on the other side of the door is sometimes a den, sometimes a furnace, sometimes a cross. And God let me get thrown in, but he met me at the bottom of the pit. He didn't always prevent it, but he always met me. Shut the lion's mouths from the inside while I was already inside. That's a different testimony than I was raised on. Not deliverance from deliverance through lion's den. I came out unscratched, but I came out different. The men who threw me in are not the same men anymore either. The king couldn't sleep that night. The text says it specifically. Came running to the den at first light asking, is your God able?
And Daniel said, yes, the lions did not harm me because God shut their mouths not after Daniel was eaten before, not metaphorically, physically. The miracle wasn't a rescue from the den. The miracle was a survival inside the den. That changes how I wrap my own seasons. The miracle isn't always avoiding the situation. Sometimes the miracle is being preserved through what should have destroyed me. And the witnesses get the testimony. The king got the conversion because somebody saw a man come out of impossible and had to update that understanding of what God could do. My survival becomes someone else's belief.
Same God in the lion's den as in the throne room. Same God in the furnace as in the temple. Same God in the storm as on the calm sea. He doesn't have a comfortable version and a pressure version. He's the same in both, which means the den has his full presence, just as much as the worship service does, maybe more. Because in the den, he's all you have.
Lion's Den.
God, let me get thrown in.
Lion's Den.
But he met me at the bottom of the pit. He didn't always prevent it, but he always met me. Shut the lion's mouths from the inside while I was already inside. That's a different testimony than I was raised on. Not deliverance from deliverance through
Lion's Den.
I came out unscratched, but I came out different. The man who threw me in and not the same man anymore either. He let me get thrown in. He didn't prevent it, but he shut the mouths, and I came out. And the people watching had to ask their own questions. That's the assignment sometimes. Survive the den loud enough that the witnesses have to deal with God. There are patterns in my bloodline older than I am, older than my parents, older than the names I have for them. Addiction, anger, absence, anxiety. Each one carrying a deed that didn't have my signature on it, but I inherited the property anyway. And I had to decide what kind of ancestor I was going to be, because the bloodline is going to keep moving whether I do the work or not. Forward through me, or stuck in me, or repaired by me. Those are the three options. I pick repair. My bloodline had receipts I never asked to inherit. Patterns that predate my consciousness. Problems I was born into. Addictions that change coats every generation but kept the same skeleton. Wounds that got handed down because nobody had the language to interrupt them. Trauma that didn't go through proper burial just got shoved into the next vessel and labeled normal, and we called it family, when half of what we call family was just unprocessed grief wearing relational clothes. I love the people who raised me, that's not in question. I'm not building a case, I'm doing an inventory, because you can love someone and also recognize the wound they handed you wasn't healing. You can honor them and still refuse to pass it on. That's not betrayal, that's the highest form of honor. Doing the work they didn't have access to, so the generation after me inherits something different.
Generational.
Chains older than my birth certificate.
Generational.
But I'm the link where the chain breaks. The patterns in with me, not because I'm strong, because God is rewriting what my bloodline could not. Galatians said Christ became a curse so I could be free. Free to become the ancestor I needed. Free to leave a different inheritance. Generational. I am the chain breaker. I am the cycle stopper. I am the one this bloodline was waiting for. Exodus 34. The iniquity of the fathers visiting the children to the third and fourth generation. That's the gravity. But Ezekiel 18, the soul that sins shall die. Not the children for the fathers, the soul accountable for itself. Both texts are true and both texts matter. The pattern is gravity, but the gravity isn't destiny. Choice to interrupt inheritance, that's the gospel I'm walking in. And I made the choice every day, sometimes every hour, to not pass forward what was passed to me. The work is unglamorous and slow, the therapy to prayer to catching myself mid-pattern. The apologizing to my children for the moment I just became my father, even though my father didn't know to apologize to me. That repair is the chain breaking, that exact moment. The link that was supposed to hold and hand it forward is disconnected by the man who refuses to be the conduit anymore. Jabez was named Pain. That was the inheritance. The name itself was the curse. And he prayed, bless me Enlarge my territory, keep me from harm so it won't cause me pain. The most honest prayer in scripture for a man with a hard inheritance. And God granted his request. The text says it plainly, God granted it. You can rename what they named you. You can pray over the inheritance and have it changed. The bloodline is not destiny. Generational chains older than my birth certificate. Generational, but I'm the link where the chain breaks. The pattern's in with me, not because I'm strong, because God is rewriting what my bloodline could not. Galatians said Christ became a curse so I could be free. Free to become the ancestor I needed. Free to leave a different inheritance. Generational, I am the chain breaker. I am the cycle stopper. I am the one this bloodline was waiting for. The bloodline is gonna keep moving. That's not optional. What I get to choose is what moves with it. Not the chains, not the patterns, not the wounds I refuse to deal with. Something different goes through me. That's the assignment. That's the inheritance. I'm leaving. Diamonds don't get made in comfort. That's chemistry, not motivation. Carbon plus pressure plus time equals diamond. Take any of those three away, you don't get a diamond. You get cold that stay cold. And I had to sit with the implication of that. The pressure I keep praying away might be the third ingredient in something I keep saying I want. I've been in a season where everything that could be tested has been tested. Finances, relationships, faith, identity, pressure on every front. And I've been praying for the lift, asking when the season ends. Like the season is the obstacle to who I'm supposed to become, but the season is the curriculum. I've been mistaking it for the interruption. The pressure isn't pausing the assignment. It is the assignment. The formation happens inside the squeeze, not after the squeeze stops. And nobody graduates a class they refuse to attend. I've been wanting the diamond without the carbon math. Wanted the result without the process that produces the result. But you can't shortcut the pressure phase and still get the diamond. You can short the time, you can run from the heat, but what comes out the other side is a different stone, or no stone at all. Just compromise wearing a costume. Pressure. That's the third ingredient I've been praying against. Pressure. Without it, the carbon stays carbon. Pressure makes the diamond. The diamond doesn't precede the pressure. And I've been asking God to remove the exact thing, making me into the exact thing I told him I wanted to become. Pressure. I'm not enjoying it, but I'm not running from it. I'm staying in the squeeze. Trusting the chemistry, trusting the timing, trusting the maker. Who knows what he's making? James said, count it all joy when you fall into trials. Not pretend it's not hard, count it. Take inventory of what the trial is producing. Patience, perseverance, character that doesn't crack under heat. The trial is producing equipment for territory. I'm about to occupy equipment I cannot purchase any other way. Equipment that only the pressure manufactures. And pressure-made equipment doesn't break under conditions that's not factory-made equivalents. The man God used most lived under the most pressure. Joseph in the prison, David in the cave, Daniel in the lions, then the Hebrew boys in the furnace. None of them got the assignment and the comfort. All of them got the assignment and the heat, which means the heat is not the enemy of my calling. The heat is the entrance ramp. The Hebrew boys went into the furnace and there were three. Came out, the king saw four. One looked like the son of God. Pressure didn't kill them, it revealed who was with them. They lost the ropes that bound them in the fire. The fire didn't take them, it freed them. The pressure didn't break them, it broke the bondage. Came out without the smell of smoke on them. That's what God does inside the heat. Don't run from the furnace, he's in there with you. Pressure. That's the third ingredient I've been praying against. Pressure. Without it, the carbon stays carbon. Pressure makes the diamond. The diamond doesn't precede the pressure. And I've been asking God to remove the exact thing, making me into the exact thing I told him I wanted to become. Pressure. I'm not enjoying it, but I'm not running from it. I'm staying in the squeeze. Trusting the chemistry, trusting the timing, trusting the maker. Who knows what he's making? Stay in the squeeze. The maker knows the math. Carbon plus pressure plus time. In the equation right now. Don't quit the chemistry. The diamond is on the other side. Staying.